Landmarks. It is located in the south of the country, bordering the Andean and Orinoco region to the north, Venezuela to the east, Brazil to the southeast, Peru to the south, and Ecuador to the southwest. This region is made up of 6 departments, such as Amazon, Caquetá, Guainía, Guaviare, Putumayo, and Vaupés, thus occupying 50% of the Colombian territory. This region is of great importance mainly for its natural resource, since the Amazon is considered the lungs of the world because it has the largest amount of tropical forests in the world. It also contains 20% of the world's freshwater, since it has the Amazon River basin through which pass 230,000 cubic meters of water per second on average, in addition to being made up of approximately more than 1,100 rivers. Due to its great extension in the territory, there are many ways to access and know this region, but its most recognized entrance for tourists is through Leticia municipality of the Amazon department.
There are many cultures that live in the Amazon and they are very different from each other, but at the same time they are very similar in their lifestyle. The vast majority of these tribes live in areas of dense vegetation, which is very useful to the time to shelter and hide. Their way of life is quite primitive, since they use very simple tools made from bones, stones, wood, or animals' remains, with little knowledge of the metallurgy sector. Obviously, they don't have electricity or running water either, so they make the most of the sunlight, using the fire in the darkness hours to illuminate themselves, and if necessary as a source of heat and for cooking. They have rewarding their gods are what causes them to have such a calm lifestyle, without the stress of big cities or the chaos of the thousands of people who live in the same place. They live much more calm and happy with so few material things that we can never understand. They believe and feel that they have to be respectful with the life that surrounds them. That doesn't mean that they don't eat animals or they don't cut trees. They do, but they do it in more considerate way and not just to get money doing that. They are people from whom we have to learn a lot, so that our society is a little more considerate.
Indigenous societies have undergone many changes throughout their history, especially since the 19th century. Their relation with the exterior, especially with the War of the White, have led them to adopt their own strategies with which they have managed to survive. In the Department of a reality, some of these beliefs are La Sachamama or Yakumama, that is a gigantic and solitary boa. Catholicism is followed mostly through the Amazon region. Although indigenous tribes also preserve local belief, Amazon mythology has a superabundance of stories elaborated to explain and justify the existence of all natural entities and supernatural. The symbolic meaning of the myth acquired deep importance in the organizations and religion of the indigenous people, since each fact and each particular situation are developed from the abstraction of that lives in the swamps of the deep jungle. And these are some among many other myths and legends of the Amazonian people who used them to explain many of the natural phenomena and of the people, being the closest thing to religion that this culture once had.
If we want to talk about the folklore, we need to talk about the clothes, the music, and finally the costume used in folkloric events is a mixture of features of the three bordering countries, but it is not yet determined as a typical costume of Amazonas. The daily dress is that used in tropical climates. Women, men, and children dress in an uncomplicated way, without formal lines, especially influenced by Brazil, where comfortable clothes prevail. typical of the tropical rainforest climate. Folklore in dress. Caqueta's traditional dress highlighting the area's natural beauty. Women wear a light-colored, hand-painted blue skirt, decorated with bright fish and a light-colored off-the-shoulder blouse. The men wear a long-sleeved shirt adorned with figures of birds native to the region, black pants, and a hat woven with basket weaving technique. The music and dance. Because this area is three countries, many musical influences came together here, helping to create an special music identity. In Brazil, we found samba, marches, baiões, forros, dobrados, sauts, chotaizes, batuques. In Peru, we found valses criollos, las mixtianas, and marineras huaynos. In Colombia, we can find too bambucos, pasillos, dance, and the joropos. This music is played using a variety of hand percussion instruments like congas, marimbas, tambores, guitars, and bass guitars. Finally, the art. They are made by people of the Huitoto and Ticuna ethnic groups who plant native species to produce fibers, wood, clay, bark, and vegetable dyes, and preserving the features of their ancestral culture.